Hey, good morning. Welcome back to all of my culinary students. I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe and completing all of your assignments on time. And thank you very much for your hard work and your efforts. I can see it in your classwork and the assignments that you're doing. So keep up the good work. I'm very proud of you. And so today we're going to focus our attention on a cooking essential referred to as the poaching method. Now, the poaching method is used to cook heat, to cook in a moist temperature environment with a liquid. Okay, poaching is one of the so-called moist heat methods of cooking, along with boiling and simmering. Of the three, poaching uses the lowest heat, boiling the hottest, and simmering somewhere in between. And I'm going to just take you through that temperature of poaching. So the poaching liquid is approximately 190 degrees all the way up to 200 degrees. Okay, so it's right in between that boiling and simmering. Okay, poaching generally means cooking foods in water, stock, or wine. All right, so what we're doing, any type of food that we poach in the liquid, that food is going to absorb that flavored liquid. All right, so a stock, you understand, is a liquid with flavoring. Remember, flavoring and seasoning at all times. Okay, wine, of course, also is flavoring. Okay, the flavor extracted from the grapes. Okay, imparting a beautiful flavor in our foods. That's why we cook with a lot of wine. Okay, and remember that alcohol from wine gets cooked off. All right, so you're not thinking, well, I'm drinking, and no, you're not drinking. You're flavoring your food. Okay, but you can use any liquid within reason, such as vinegar or fruit juice. If desired, you can also add aromatics to the liquid in order to enhance the flavor profile of your food. Another method, butter poaching, combining butter with the liquid, and this tends to be reserved for cooking fish and seafood. Okay, so the use of butter. Okay, when in doubt, add butter. All right, butter is a wonderful flavor, high fat content. Poaching can be divided into shallow and deep poaching techniques. The difference between the two is exactly as you might expect. In shallow poaching, the food is only partially submerged, often stood on top of another type of aromatics. In deep poaching, the food is fully submerged. An increasingly popular method of slow poaching is sous vide. Okay, we're going to touch upon sous vide later, but that's another method of slow cooking in water. Okay, which involves taking food in a vacuum package, submerging it in water for 35 minutes all the way up to about an hour cooking time, and the food comes out moist, delicious, and tender. So remember sous vide, a French term, slow cooking. Okay, so that involves, which I said, vacuum sealing sous vide the food in a plastic bag first and cooking at a consistent low heat. Doing so creates a perfect uniform texture throughout Sous vide obviously renders the use of aromatics and liquids other than water pointless. All right, remember, plain water, we're interested in flavor. Flavor at all times. We're chefs. You're my junior chefs, and you're going to remember that you always want to make sure that our food is properly seasoned and flavored. Because you don't want to guess walking out of your establishment saying, gee, that food had no flavor whatsoever. I'm not coming back. Okay, very, very important. Keep that in mind. The advantages of the poaching technique. The most obvious advantage to poaching is for health reasons. All right, once again, we're poaching, we're cooking in a liquid, a flavored liquid. We are not deep frying. We are not pan sauteing, which involves, or stir frying in a fat. And just keep that in mind. Very healthy cooking technique is poaching. Okay. Health reason. As the food is being cooked in fat, it's generally quite good for you. However, similarly to boiling food, nutrients can be lost in the water to a greater degree than steaming. The downside is to avoid it in sous vide cooking, but the extent to which chemicals from the plastic cooking bag affect the food is debated, and there could be further health risks from cooking at a temperature too low for pasteurization. Okay, I have never had a problem when I'm doing my sous vide. All right, I've never tasted packaging, and I don't think or feel that there are any health risks to the public. Since poaching is done at a lower heat than boiling, it is preferable for cooking delicate proteins like chicken, eggs, and fish, as well as some vegetables and even fruit. Poaching is able to break proteins down without drawing moisture from the food. When done correctly, this not only benefits the food's flavors, but also preserves its structure. That means poaching is quite forgiving when it comes to overcooking. Not only will over-poached food not burn, it won't disintegrate either. So that's very, very important also. As poaching cooks food quite slowly, it does so more evenly, providing far smoother, more consistent textures. However, there is a trade-off with some desirable flavors sacrificed due to the lack of browning. Remember, when we're poaching, we're not browning. Okay, so the food stays the same color throughout. Okay, so here you can see that once again, I've done my mise en place. Okay, and today, or in the afternoon, whenever you decide to make this, we're making a very classic French dish called eggs Benedict, which involves poaching eggs. So we're going to poach eggs. That's going to be our cooking technique. And as you can see, I've already cracked 2 eggs, and I'm going to add to my poaching liquid for poached eggs. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vinegar. All right. So as you can see, my mise en place is all set. I'm going to have my slotted spoon. Going to have my seasoning blend. I have my measuring spoons, and here we go. We're going to make poached eggs. All right, very, very simple, but a little bit tricky, so please pay attention. So I filled my pot about halfway, and it's about at a medium temperature, and we're going just to check our temperature using our thermometer. Okay, so let's just check that temperature, see what we're at. Let's see if we can get that to about 190 degrees. Okay. Okay, so we just have to wait a few more minutes. We're about 180 degrees. Hi, I just want to mention, as I always do for any of my cooking essentials, cooking methods, safety at all times. So we're working with a live fire. We're dealing with simmering hot liquid that's 195 to 200 degrees. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention at all times to what we're doing. Okay, you focus your attention on the stove and you focus your attention on what you're doing at all times. Safety is paramount. I don't want anyone getting hurt in the kitchen area. Safety. Always think safety as your number one concern. Thank you. Once again, our mise en place. Okay, you saw that I had my mise en place. It's all set up. So as you can see, a long slotted spoon. Okay, keep your hands away from the poaching liquid. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to my liquid white distilled vinegar. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in. And what the vinegar is going to help us with is it's going to help us coagulate the egg. We're going to bring the egg white together, which is very, very important for poaching. Now, you're probably asking, is the white vinegar going to give the egg an adverse taste? No, it will not. You would have to add a cup of white vinegar to the poaching liquid in order for the egg to have taste. Okay, and if you were thinking about that, very good on your part. So what we're going to do is, once again, we're going to check our temperature and let's see where we are. Okay, we are perfect at 195 degrees. That's excellent. So the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to just take our egg, as you can see, and very carefully we're going to put it on top of our water and put it in to our poaching liquid. All right, as you can see, so it's going to just take us just a few minutes to bring it together, all right, into a poached egg. Once again, this is healthy cooking, all right? And then I'm going to begin making my classic Eggs Benedict, which is a wonderful brunch type of food item. All right, so we're going to begin with 2 halves of English muffin, and I'm going to toast it lightly. Okay, this, as you can see, this is a brush. This is a silicone brush, and I'm going to spread the butter on top of the English muffin. Aha! More cooking utensils, more toys to play with. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. It's coming together beautifully, our poached egg. And let me just show you what's going on here. Okay, as you can see, it's coming together beautifully. All right. Chef Richter is right on. Okay, I'm going to let that go for just a couple more minutes. We're going to make sure and review what we've done, and that's very, very important. Now in the back over here, those are Canadian bacon slices that we're going to use for our classic Eggs Benedict. Okay, and Canadian bacon is just smoked pork loin that's been sliced. All right, and you're going to think, oh gee, this looks like an Egg McMuffin. And if you were thinking Egg McMuffin, very good. And that's where it kind of comes from. So, very, very important. But this is much healthier for us. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take out my English muffin very carefully. I'm going to put that on my plate. All right, as you can see, two halves. All right, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you the poached egg. Come take a look at our poached egg, how it came together. Looks kind of different. All right. Look how nice that is. All right, very good. See? That's all it is. All right, we're going to put that on top of our English muffin soon. All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to just take that Canadian bacon. I'm going to put it on top of my English muffin after I coat the English muffin with my butter. As you can see that I've just done. All right, going to take our Canadian bacon, put that on top. I'm going to just take one poached egg, put that on top, and then I'm going to just take my second egg, I'm going to put that in, all right, once again, as you can see, the egg is in there. All right, so in just a couple more minutes. All right, and here we go. Our second poached egg. We're going to put it on the second half of our English muffin. Okay, and then I'm going to put some hollandaise sauce, which is a classic mother sauce. We're going to get into mother sauces. One of the 5 classic mother sauces. And we're just going to put that right on top. Okay, and what happens now, once you put the sauce on, all right, then it's going to go onto a pan and we're going to put that into the broiler to complete the Eggs Benedict recipe. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So today, one of our classic cooking methods is poaching. And poaching is used for healthy cooking. It is in a moist heat environment. In a liquid, we poach in a liquid. Okay, you can use vinegar, you can use wine and aromatics. Okay, you can use a stock. Okay, anything to flavor our liquids, we do. All right, don't use just plain water, okay, which has no flavor whatsoever. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. And there you go. This is our poaching cooking method for today. If you have any questions, please let me know about the entire process, which I just did today. Have a wonderful day.